Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Your presence means the world to me. It's a pleasure to have you join us as we uncover the secrets of Graham Bonnet. Graham Bonnet, born 23 December 1947, is an English rock singer. He has recorded and performed as a solo artist and as a member of several hard rock and heavy metal bands, including Rainbow, Schenker Group, Alcatrazz, and Impellitteri. He is known for his powerful singing voice but is capable of also singing soft melodies. His singing has been noted as very loud by both his contemporaries and himself, and he claimed to be a self-taught singer with no discipline for lessons. Bonnet's visual style, considered uncharacteristic of hard rock musicians, has been described as being a cross between Don Johnson in Miami Vice and James Dean. As we venture forward, let's take a closer look at career and its impact on our understanding. Bonnet was born in Skegness, Lincolnshire, in 1947. He had his first hit single with duo The Marbles in 1968 with the single Only One Woman, which reached number 5 in the UK singles chart. This and its follow-up, The Walls Fell Down, were both written by Barry Gibb, Robin Gibb and Maurice Gibb of the Bee Gees, who had recorded in Australia with Bonnet's bandmate from The Marbles, Trevor Gordon. Bonnet then quit to do advert jingles. He appeared in the 1974 British comedy film Three for All as lead singer of Billy Beethoven, a fictional band, along with several notable UK comedy personalities and his then partner Adrienne Poster, although his character's lines were limited to only 2 words. In 1977, he released an eponymous album, which was certified gold in Australia. The single, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, a cover version of the Bob Dylan song, also reached number 3 in Australia in November 1977, and the following year the single Warm Ride, written by the Bee Gees, a leftover from the Saturday Night Fever sessions, reached number 2 there in August. Brace yourselves for the next chapter, where we'll be dissecting Rainbow. In 1979, Bonnet was approached to join UK glam rock band Sweet to replace Brian Connolly. However, he was chosen by Ritchie Blackmore to replace Ronnie James Dio as the vocalist of hard rock band Rainbow. This was something of a musical departure for Bonnet, who had previously identified himself more as an singer. Bonnet would later credit his time in Rainbow and his collaboration with Blackmore, in particular, as fundamentally changing his musical outlook to a more hard rock focus. He sang on the Down to Earth LP, which would become his most successful album. It spawned 2 hit singles in 1979 and 1980, Since You've Been Gone and All Night Long. During Bonnet's time in the band, Rainbow also headlined the inaugural Monsters of Rock Festival at Dennington Park, Castle Dennington. Bonnet's time with Rainbow was short and he left to resume his solo career, releasing the Line Up album in 1981, handled by producer John Eden. Following on from his time in Rainbow, the album had a markedly more rock-based sound than his previous solo recordings, whilst retaining some of his former influences. For the recording of Line Up, Bonnet enlisted several well-known rock musicians, including Whitesnake guitarist Mick Moody, Whitesnake and Rainbow drummer Cozy Powell, Deep Purple and Whitesnake keyboard player John Lord, and Status Quo guitarists Francis Rossi and Rick Parfitt. The album reached no. 62 in the UK albums chart. The album's lead single, Night Games, reached no. 6 in the UK singles chart, with the follow-up single, Liar, reaching no. 51. Round this time Bonnet sang on an advertisement for Levi's jeans. The song was entitled These Eyes, although his version has never been released. Get ready to uncover the mysteries surrounding MSG as we navigate its intriguing terrain. Tempted by an offer from ex-UFO guitarist Michael Schenker, Bonnet continued his progression to a heavier musical style and joined the Schenker Group MSG for the Assault Attack album. However, he was fired from the group after a single concert at Sheffield Polytechnic, now called Sheffield Hallam University, when he drunkenly exposed himself on stage. As we enter this new chapter, let's navigate the complexities of Alcatrazz and unravel its multifaceted nature. Upon leaving MSG, Bonnet decided to form his own band, drawing inspiration from his days in Rainbow. In 1983, he co-founded Alcatrazz with Gary Shea bass and Jimmy Waldo keyboards of the band New England, former Alice Cooper drummer Jan Avina, and Swedish guitarist Yngwie Malmsteen. The band's debut album, No Parole from Rock and Roll, featured a distinctly heavy metal sound, with Bonnet describing the material as the heaviest that he had recorded to date. The band enjoyed moderate success in the United States and major success in Japan. The band released 3 studio albums, No Parole from Rock and Roll, Disturbing the Peace, with guitarist Steve Vai replacing Malmsteen, and Dangerous Games with Danny Johnson on guitar. Alcatrazz also released a live album, Live Sentence, with material from Yngwie Malmsteen's period in the band. For the Dangerous Games LP, Alcatrazz recorded a remake of Bonnet's hit song Only One Woman from his first band The Marbles. In 1987, Alcatrazz appeared on the second series of the BBC TV programme Rock School, with Bonnet providing singing tips. The programme also included clips of Alcatrazz in rehearsal. Later that year, Alcatrazz disbanded, and Bonnet returned to his solo career. In 2009, Bonnet reformed Alcatrazz with 3 new musicians. Bonnet did not consult with his former bandmates Avina and Waldo about reforming the original line-up, and in response they also regrouped as a separate version of Alcatrazz. Bonnet later reformed his version of the band as Alcatrazz featuring Graham Bonnet with guitarist Howie Simon, Jeff Scott Soto Band, Talisman, drummer Glenn Sobel Impellitteri, Beautiful Creatures, Tony McAlpine, and bassist Tim Luce, and toured Japan in May and June, sharing the headline with another ex-Rainbow vocalist, Jolyn Turner. Howie Simon revealed in a 2010 interview that it was his suggestion to bring back the Alcatrazz name. They also headlined the Buck Rock Festival in Bukovica, Bulgaria, in July 2008 and have played various West Coast US dates, including support slots for IT. Alcatrazz continued to perform live occasionally until 2014. In March 2017, 3/5 of the original lineup, Bonnet, Waldo and Shea, reunited for 3 shows in Japan, which also included Conrado Pesinato and Mark Benquicki on guitar and drums respectively. The performances were recorded for the live album Parole Denied Tokyo 2017, which was released on 7 December 2018. In February 2019, Bonnet confirmed that he had once again resurrected Alcatrazz with a new lineup featuring himself, Waldo, Benquicki, Beth Omi Heavenstone, as well as new guitarist Joe Stump. Heavenstone thus briefly became Alcatrazz's first female member, having played bass in the Graham Bonnet Band, where she was Waldo's bandmate. This lineup planned to record a new album together, which would also include contributions from Chris Impellitteri, Bob Kulick, Dario Mollo, and former Alcatrazz guitarist Steve Vai. Shea returned to Alcatrazz in January 2020 to replace Heavenstone. In this part of the video, we'll be delving deeper into later career and analyzing its key components. Bonnet's post-Alcatrazz projects have all been short-lived and included Blackthorn working with ex-Balance guitarist Bob Kulick, brother of Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick, backing vocals for the Danish heavy metal band Pretty Maids Future World, and numerous session work for Forcefield, appearing on To Oz and Back and Let the Wild Run Free. In 1988, Bonnet joined Impellitteri for their album Stand in Line. An appearance on Eddie Hardin and Pete York's musical adaptation of Wind in the Willows, performed live in Germany in 1991, saw Bonnet sing on around 6 of the songs alongside fellow musicians John Lord, Don Airey and Ray Fenwick amongst others. Fenwick and Airey also featured heavily on Bonnet's 1991 solo album Here Comes the Night, which includes several covers as well as songs credited to his then-wife Jo-Im, and another remake of The Marbles' Only One Woman. In 1997, he released Underground, a new solo album, which helped re-establish him with his fan base in Japan. It's the Day I Went Mad featured guitarist / Def Leppard guitarist Vivian Campbell, Bruce Kulick plus guitarist Mari Parda. Bonnet contributed lead vocals to the Japanese heavy metal band Anthem's 2000 release Heavy Metal Anthem, which had reworks of classic Anthem tracks. Bonnet rejoined Impellitteri in 2000 for their System X album. Meanwhile, his 1999 Japanese solo album got a UK release in September 2001. At the back end of 2001, Bonnet went on a solo UK tour. His band included keyboard player Don Airy, bassist Chris Childs, and drummer Harry James of Thunder and guitarist Dario Mollo. In early 2004, Bonnet joined Italian guitarist Dario Mollo's new project Electric Zoo, touring Europe during April. Maintaining the Italian connection, the singer also participated in Matteo Filippini's project, Moonstone, featuring on the track Not Dead Yet. In 2006, Bonnet contributed vocals to the Welcome to America album by Taz Taylor Band. The band toured the UK in 2007 and Europe in 2008. He also appeared in the Countdown Spectacular concert series in Australia between August and September 2007. He sang 2 songs, Warm Ride and It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. A press release dated 6 November 2008 reported that Bonnet would be contributing vocals for a Highlights CD with the metal opera project, Lyrica. The album Lyrica Volume 1 was released on 2 November 2010. It was announced on 17 November 2010 that Bonnet would also be featured on Lyrica Volume 2. Bonnet currently resides in Los Angeles, California, from where he continues to record and tour extensively. Bonnet toured the UK with Rainbow tribute band Catch the Rainbow starting in March 2014. He collaborated in the Stardust Reverie project, a supergroup featuring Zach Stevens and Lynn Meredith among others. Their first album Ancient Rites of the Moon was released in April 2014. He contributed on vocals in one track of the second Stardust Reverie album Proclamation of Shadows, which came out in March 2015. In 2015, Bonnet formed the Graham Bonnet Band and toured the UK and Europe, playing songs from throughout his career including Alcatrazz and Rainbow. The band released a 2-song EP titled My Kingdom Come. The song My Kingdom Come, written by Russ Ballard, and announced work on a new studio album to be recorded featuring new compositions and a bonus disc consisting of re-recordings of a number of songs from Bonnet's career. The final line-up of the Graham Bonnet Band was Graham Bonnet, vocals, Conrado Pesanato, guitars, Beth Omi Heavenstone, bass, Mark Zonder X Fates Warning, drums. The band resumed touring towards the end of 2016. On 4 November 2016, the Graham Bonnet Band released their debut album, The Book. Reviews were positive, with the Real Gone website calling the album surprisingly good and also stating that some of the tracks exceeded expectations by some distance. Heavenstone later joined Bonnet in a refounded Alcatrazz See Above. In 2016, Bonnet joined Michael Schenker and fellow former MSG singers Gary Barden and Robin McCauley in Michael Schenker Fest, initially for a tour of Japan. This resulted in a Live Tokyo International Forum Hall. Later tours of Europe and Japan followed. In 2017, with the addition of Temple of Rock singer Dudie White, another former Rainbow vocalist, Michael Schenker Fest recorded the album Resurrection featuring vocal contributions from all 4 singers. This lineup toured the US and Europe in 2018. Bonnet was extensively interviewed for 2 books by author Greg Proto's The Other Side of Rainbow and the Shredders, The Oral History of Speed Guitar and more. As we embark on the next leg of our journey, let's unpack the layers of film and television appearances and examine its core elements. 1975, Three for All performer 1980, Rainbow Monsters of Rock, Donington 80 performer 1985, Rainbow The Final Cut performer 2003, Wind in the Willows A Rock Concert 91 performer 2006, Rainbow in Their Own Words interviewee 2006, Heavy Metal Louder Than Life interview 2015, The Richie Blackmore Story interviewee. Your feedback helps me improve, so please take a moment to leave a comment or review.